Lewis Hamilton, arguably the greatest racing driver of our generation. I'm sorry, Sebastian, but it's true. But what if, the question we're answering today, if he never existed? Now, the six-time champion has dominated the sport in recent seasons, but what would happen and how would history be changed if he never existed? Now, this is going to be quite a fast-paced video and going to be quite confusing at times as we start all the way back in 2007, flying all the way to the current season of 2020, and it'll also be quite long, so I split it into two parts, 2007 to 2013 and 2014 to 2020. This should be a very, very interesting experiment, how team moves change, how winning championship change, and all the rest in between. Now, if you enjoy it, do go subscribe. I have a big video coming out on Saturday, so stay checked out for that. Also, check out my podcast on Spotify, and let's dive into it. So, winning the GP2 championship in 2006, Lewis Hamilton joined McLaren to create a potent lineup of himself and Fernando Alonso. In real life, this partnership quickly fell apart, allowing Kimi Raikkonen to win the Drivers' Championship. However, without Hamilton, McLaren signed Honda driver Jenson Button. Button is in turn replaced by Christian Klein at Honda, and with Jenson playing a more supporting role in the championship, Fernando is able to win his third consecutive title, with the top three spots occupied by Alonso of McLaren and then Raikkonen and Massa, both of Ferrari. Moving onwards to 2008, there is little change in the driver market, with the only move of note being Anthony Davidson signing with Honda to partner Rubens Barrichello after Super Aguri dropped off the grid from the previous season. Now, with no Hamilton, Alonso is happy to stay at McLaren to partner Button for the 08 season. However, without Hamilton, we have no fatal Timo Glock overtakes, allowing Felipe Massa to win his first ever F1 championship with Ferrari, as Alonso and Raikkonen finished best of the rest. So if you've kept up so far, this is where it starts to get confusing. As everybody knows, in 2009, Brawn took over Honda and transformed them from back of the grid strugglers to dominant champions. But without Button at Brawn, due to his move to McLaren in 07, rookie move Jenson, it's got to be said, Rubens Barrichello becomes the second consecutive Brazilian to win the Drivers' Championship, beating out the Red Bull lads of Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber. Still keeping up now, in 2010, the driver market, like in real life, is blown open as Fernando Alonso, in this case frustrated with his performances at McLaren, jumped ship to Ferrari. Raikkonen departs, heading out on a 2-season sabbatical from the sport. Meanwhile, Brawn had become Mercedes with a whole new driver lineup. Enter stage left, Schumacher and Rosberg. Now, after being shipped out by Merck, reigning champion Rubens Barrichello joined Williams to partner 2009 GP2 champion Nico Hülkenberg. Heikki Kovalainen joined McLaren to replace Fernando, allowing a young Vitaly Petrov to join Renault. In the season, though, it was in fact Fernando who came out on top, as if you do the maths, the points both Vettel and Alonso gained from the removal of Hamilton from the championship, this is all other things being equal, ceteris paribus, allows the Spaniard to pip the German to his fourth world title. Webber takes the scraps, finishing third in the Drivers' Championship for the second year. On to 2011. Now, whilst not many moves occurred in the 2011 season, as most of the top teams stayed strong in their previous lineups, McLaren had removed Heikki Kovalainen, sending him packing to Caterham. The man they brought in to replace the still missing Hamilton was none other than his future teammate, Nico Rosberg. Up to this point, Rosberg had been a fairly quiet driver in Formula 1, but a strong showing for sister team Mercedes as he finished best of the rest, prompted McLaren to sign the German for the 2011 season. And yes, you're right, this will have major permutations on the future, but in reality, Nico seemed like the most realistic buy in the scenario that unfolded, meaning Button would partner the German for that season. Meanwhile, in other news, Romain Grosjean signed for Lotus after Robert Kubica's injury saw him miss the season. Sergio Perez joined Sauber, but most importantly, Mercedes signed their new replacement for the 2011 season. You guessed it! Pastor Maldonado. Having beat Perez to the GP2 championship, he was the obvious choice at the time, being the best of the young rookies coming into the sport. In the season though, it wasn't quite as exciting. The Red Bulls dominated the championship like in real life, with Sebastian Vettel picking up his first driver championship as Mark Webber again finished second. Best of the rest went to our old friend Button in the McLaren, rounding out a disappointing year for many teams. 2012, the supposed end of the world, or at least for anybody who wasn't a Red Bull driver. Sebastian Vettel stormed to a second world title with minimal opposition. Driver transfers were fairly dull as well, with Adrian Sutil joining Mercedes and Kimi Raikkonen returning to the sport and finishing third, the most exciting moments of the season. Last but not least, for this video at least, it's 2013 time, the year that Hamilton made the famous move from McLaren to Mercedes. However, without Hamilton and Rosberg stuck at McLaren, things turn out a little bit different. As Mercedes have begun to grow in strength through the 2013 season, they released both of their drivers, Michael Schumacher and Adrian Sutil, in search of a fresh start. This fresh start came in the shape of promising kid Nico Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg had performed well for Force India in the previous season, and with the same engine supplier, Mercedes were able to make a compelling point to sign the German. Alongside him though, it was gonna be the 2008 world champion Felipe Massa. Massa had struggled in recent seasons, and after an offer came in from Merck, Ferrari were prepared to let the 32-year-old go. The Tifosi replaced him with their former driver Kimi Raikkonen, who would play a supporting role in the season. Now, whilst it was a tighter year, neither Ferrari nor Mercedes were quite up to Red Bull's level, allowing Sebastian to pick up a third driver's title, putting him amongst the F1 elite. Now, as the 2013 season and V6 era comes to a close, this is where we will finish off today's video. Check out part 2 coming out tomorrow, where we will see the rise of Mercedes and who benefits from it without Lewis at the helm. If you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a sub and showing your support. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Peace!